You had people who were crucially very good on certain areas of the map.
Well, we'll find out if they make any drastic changes here on this map, because it's not going to be Mirage that's played versus Dignitas. It's going to be Cash, and we're already into the pistol round as well. So right off the bat, getting into it.
This has actually been a map that
JW, he hit it. He actually made the jump. Oh, he misses the follow-up.
This has actually been a map that Fnatic has gone away from in the last couple of months. Maybe because of that loss to Nip on it. Let me think. Yeah, they lost to Nip on it in the major final. This used to be a map where everyone said Fnatic's the best on this map. Like, they're top 2, top 3. But it feels like they've actually eschewed this a while now.
That's the issue there. JW tries to force the issue. If he had done it the first time, if he had landed that solo boost basically the first time, he would have completely caught Dignitas off guard. But the fact that Dignitas were already up in A main, up close versus Garage, they heard him make that jump, and so they knew that JW was going to come over the boost solo like that. Such a sick play from JW. The only problem is, if it didn't work the first time, it's such a big risk to take to try and make it work again.
That is JW, though.
Right?
I mean, JW is the guy who re-peeks into an AWP that's already peeking on the... You know, he does all the things that the rules would tell you don't do that. But you have to say, he does get away with it a lot, too. So I can almost understand why he just plays that playing style.
Well, Flusha was also saying, you know, now since I've been making these calls, we've won every pistol round, and it looks like he's off to a good start. Flusha, 2 kills, nearly takes the 3rd one as well, and he's still alive. He's still here. It's only just when they manage to close in on him close range that they get the job done. And now Dignitas, they actually have a bomb plant. And from how this is shaping up, this is definitely looking like pressure is on Olofmeister. He's going to run right in. Not sure if he spotted Pimp the shoulder there, but he's definitely worried about quad boxes, which is reasonable. They don't know. They don't have the information yet, Fnatic, as to where the setup is. AC is going to take one, and AC gets both, in fact, coming in from Forklift. So it's just going to be Dignitas walking through and picking up that pistol.
Doesn't it amaze you in those, like, 1vx, 2vx situations on that site, how the guy who's on the other side who chooses to go up on the box wins like 90% of those scenarios? Because the problem is, somehow, in some weird way, when you're not on that side of the box, you never visualize that they can do that. You're always waiting for them to come around this corner or think he'll come behind you. So it feels like whoever the first person is to go up there nearly always wins the round. I feel like I never see them lose that scenario.
Yeah, unless you do it to Shox, right? Because Shoxy, he's done it so many times,
he's done it a million times
for him.
He does it every time, that's the problem.
He staved it off.
He's the JW of doing that boost up on the box.
Well, look at this. Very quick round now from Dignitas. They're looking to just barrel onto this A site. JW is holding, but he's full flashed, has no idea. Pronax is there, however, long range with that 5-7, and he picks one up. But they are going to be able to get control of this site eventually and go for an open plant as well. So they're thinking A main here, but Pronax hits the timing right. Olofmeister's there. And all of these pistol kills coming in for Fnatic. It leaves Pimp all alone to try and defend. The bomb was planted for him, but unfortunately his team tried to force the issue.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, this is what I saw earlier, though, on Mirage. Like, Pimp was a key player for Dignitas. He had a sick level. So look at Olofmeister now. He's been boosted up on the box. All he has to do to watch A main is stand up at this point. That could really catch Pimp off guard. And one thing to note is that the bomb got canceled as well. Pronax was able to make it there in time. So yeah, 40 seconds is the big thing here that we're looking at, basically.
His big issue is this AK. Like, if they're smart, they don't use Crims to peek. They use the other guy, and then Crims just gets the kill for sure, you know.
Well, the longest time, well, there you go, Crims. It's the timing. And Pimp played that right. He waited long enough for them to start worrying about short, so Olofmeister comes off of his boost just to take a better position.
And that was like a classic non-eco round where you actually bought all the pistols but the OP ones and you got the kills. Interestingly, whenever the CZ was OP and now in the Tech 9 era, people always used to say like, oh, Fnatic are abusing the CZ, etc. Like, yeah, JW did a lot. Olofmeister sometimes would. But actually, even back then, Pronax always bought the 5-7. Yep. He's always gone with the 5-7. That's his style. He prefers kind of like the 1.6 style of just trying to fire the bullets actually into the enemy. A unique concept, I know.
Yeah, it's good to point that out, though, because that is a bit of history there, and Pronax has stuck with it for quite some time. Well, right now it's JW basically having a field day. Quad kill for him, holding off this eco push, and Kirby can't get anything done with the AK that he picked up either.
And he even got the assist.
But that's like
a classic JW round as well, where you just start firing your gun, and it's like the enemies are like, quick, get into the spray. Yeah, you've got to give him this highlight kill. Go as fast as you can.
I mean, look at this, and he even goes for that USP, just dancing all over the place. He even gets the last shot onto MSL as he crosses in, but that was it. Dignitas, though, no bomb plant for them, so they're not going to be able to force up. They decide to play it safe rather than going for, like, I feel like if we were watching any other team, and I say that meaning basically Fnatic and Envy, that would have been a force buy situation from them.
Instantly killed the guy with the Colt. And they can get to that if they all run out. If they go one by one, obviously they're going to be in trouble, but they should be able to get to this gun.
Yeah, they did go together, but that bought enough time for Flusha to rotate in. He runs out of bullets, though, but he finds the last shot. So Fnatic managed to stabilize somewhat. They get 3 rounds on the board.
That's actually a bit unusual, because think about where the gun was dropped by Olofmeister. It was right at the very edge of that opening that you can go around the back. And instead, they all ran out the front way towards the B guy, whereas you'd think, okay, send some out there, but send one guy around the back to get the Colt at least. So I wonder if that was just bad comms.
I'm thinking it's nerves, because from the second round where Dignitas tried to force the bomb plant, they didn't fully check the site, they didn't clear it out, they were really just like, we got to get this bomb down. That's the feeling you get, at least. And then 2 very quick follow-up rounds, rather than trying to play it slow and abuse the pistols, they just kind of YOLO onto a site. I'm feeling like Dignitas are a little nervous about this match right now.
Oh, we're going to get the boost here.
There it is. So JW up in the corner, Maniac's favorite spot. Kjerby, however, is going to find Crimson. That was in B halls. So that's going to lock down Olofmeister on that portion of the map. Olofmeister getting dropped down to 10 HP as well. So it's looking a bit grim over on the B site, and we'll see if Dignitas take that info and play into that later on. It's going to be rough if they decide to go towards the A side, however. JW up here. It's not often. It's really rare, actually, to see any kind of boost like this coming out of Fnatic on Cash. So.
And also, you wouldn't usually hold further back as that. You usually hold the Maniac position, which is right up close.
Oh, that was so sick,
and he gets inside the door.
He waited. He waited for that door to open and then just dropped on the guy. And now he's just going to be drawing so much attention. MSL is on the site, sure, but now they have to worry about JW backstabbing at any moment. You can see MSL constantly having to turn around towards that door.
And you notice they haven't brought the others out. As a result, they don't want to bring the AWP out and risk losing that. So they want to deal with JW first.
And there you go.
And how is he getting 3 shots in the side of someone's head where you know where he can be?
Again, this is just so dangerous, though. MSL, yeah, he's just managing to line them up there. Kjerby is going to be the last man alive, and that bomb still has not been planted. It gets denied at the last possible second, so Fnatic still in control. Kjerby's going to be able to smoke off short, so he's only going to be worrying about the CT angle.
I have to say as well, this player particularly, he doesn't have a choice now because there's no time, but has shown a tendency for really passive play.
Well, he nearly takes that one right there. Oh, he's not going to have time to plant now. Oh, just in the nick of time. So close, and this is a novel way of doing the. This is a novel way of doing the 1v1, but he can hold this angle, takes the peek, and doesn't manage to lock on. So, do you think that this is a tendency from Kjerby to try and bait right now? In
a lot of their games, I've noticed he plays. I don't know if it's that he plays scared or he just thinks that the really passive style of play is the best way. Like whenever he's in situations where a couple of teammates die, he just goes super slow. He's like one of those guys who walks the whole way around the map. He never tries to like take an aggressive peek to kind of like even the numbers up and get it on your side so you have a chance to win it. On this scenario here, you couldn't really get to see it because the time meant he was going to have to plant instantly anyway. But in general, he's not a guy who does a lot of like aggressive peeks and tries to like force the action in that sense.
So we'll see if how that plays out. I mean, he did manage to pick up the entry frag in this.
The problem there is they lost
round.
Nico's AWP. Meanwhile, now JW's got an AWP on him.
Yeah, for free as well, so they saved some money there.
And they didn't get anything done with Nico's AWP either. He never even really got to have a shot onto anyone.
Getting shot in the side of the face from JW actually does that to you. Makes you a little honest, makes you worried.
And for people who don't know, in the early days of 2013, Nico was actually one of the premier AWPers in the game. He was one of the best at that particular role. He was a dedicated AWPer, but then he had his issues like personal life and stuff, and he went out of the top teams, and he was kind of just hanging around this like second, third best Danish team for a while, and he's never really regained that form again. He's never really become that really deadly AWPer again.
No, that's exactly what we've been talking about quite a bit with Nico. When is it going to be that he sticks around long enough to actually return to that form or not? And you're right, we haven't quite seen it yet. But
in fact, what's weird is he never got back to that level. He's still at the same level he was 6 months ago, yet his team's improved. Whereas you would have thought that was a scenario where if their team get better, it must be because he gets it together and he becomes dominant again. It hasn't really been the case so far.
No, it's been players like Pimp, like AC, even like Kjerby, who've managed to actually have really solid performances to help Dignitas along. And also since MSL have joined up, it seems like they've really shaped up on their T side at least.
Well, the key thing about MSL joining wasn't necessarily that MSL's like a genius, he's really good. It's that you just had to have not fetish in that fifth role. That was like the dream team for them is all these four and not fetish. So
it's valid. I mean, it's valid. It's just that MSL, he has had a tendency to shake things up. And, well, there you go. Takes the point man position. Will open it up, but then 3 kills going Fnatic's way instantly there, really slowing things up. And they are going to be able to make it past onto the site. A little bit of an awkward position now for Flusha. He's looking to find the headshot.
But JW's behind the
exactly, that sets it up for JW to flank around from Checkers. And this is now going to be down to Pimp holding 1v3, and he's only going to get the 1 kill. Just too many numbers there, too many men for Fnatic.
And it does feel like as the Dignitas players come into the site, say they get an entry, they go really slow. They're really hesitant to actually overwhelm the site, chase down the last guy, get the bomb plant. They're hoping to just get like duels, basically. And that's actually a really terrible play to play. You don't play like that when you're against Fnatic or NIP, because those two teams on CT side make all the right decisions in terms of rotations and comms of when to come over. So the slower you go, the more time you're giving them to make the right flank on you, or to have the right guy coming in behind where he knows where you're going to look, and I'm going to look to the left if you look right. Those are the teams where if you get an opening, you have to go really fast and kind of deny them that chance to beat you in terms of decision making.
That was exactly, I mean, that was illustrated clearly with JW with this flank from Checkered. Crims is going to open up strong, taking out Kirby in this round. Flusha decides to fall back, so he doesn't need to hold the aggressive position now that they have that man advantage on Fnatic's side. And we'll see if he's going to have any luck here versus MSL, who is currently just trying to get control at least towards vents to see if anybody's been boosted up there, because that vent was broken out earlier on, so he doesn't know if Flusha's actually in there or not. Flusha going for a bit of a mind game.
This is a really good spot where they should be able to kill that guy there. See, just by knowing where he was, and they had 3 people set up, so they just tell the one that's on the right to kill him, basically.
That was really well done there. Good, I mean, great call coming in by Flusha, basically, to go for mid-control later on in the round rather than at the beginning.
And the thing is, when JW has an AWP, because we all know JW can go wherever he wants, he can change it up at the beginning of the round. It's not even like playing a normal AWP. You're not knowing that, oh, right, he's going to control mid now, or oh, he plays actually in B at the top part. You know, you don't know where he's going to be, so actually you're more hesitant initially.
This is going to get a little awkward here, actually. Pimp is still here, but he's waiting for a push into Garage. Nobody's doing that, though. Flusha kind of just hanging around at the front of it. Crims is now starting to push into B halls. But Pimp, if he can get the timing right, there it is. Headshot onto Flusha. He could go straight up vents, and there's only Crims here to stop him.
There's not much time, though.
Yeah, he doesn't have much time, exactly. So if he wastes any at all, if he does, yeah, exactly. If he doesn't spot Crims,
yeah, he's too late at this point.
9 seconds, and he needs just to make the dead run. They line up. They nearly take out both. Down to 8 HP for Crims, but Fnatic will be able to hold steady, and that's all down to Crims basically holding that long line that cuts you off from the site.
Look at Nico's score here. He's going full James Bond mode, guys. Yeah. 007.
But this was the case on Mirage as well.
Unlike James Bond, he doesn't have a license to kill.
Well, yeah, he's waiting on that to clear, huh?
Listen, Nico, you enjoy killing as much as I do, but when I kill, Nico, I kill for Queen and Country. It's a little James Bond impression for you there, okay? You're not appreciating that? Okay. I see how it is, Samler. I do all the impressions, everything, all the voices.
I'm waiting, dude.
Sort of a variety act in many ways, you know, the insults, the impressions.
We talked about swag, that's the one thing I'm saying. You need to work a little bit on the swag accent, but you're nearly there, man. Okay. It was the same thing actually on Mirage as well for Nico. Nico, he really lagged behind, didn't quite hit those shots, so it'll be a real problem. JW again with the clear. Well, I mean, this is a clever
time
position
to be positioned there. He's avoided all the Molotovs. They still haven't got to him.
Now they do.
Cameraman hates JW, so he switched off him.
Well, that's Flusha also worried about the boost, and nice shot there by Pimp.
Pimp's game is on right now.
Dude, Pimp has been on, yeah, first map, he just led by example, essentially. He was getting so many frags, but now he's kind of pinned down.
This is not really a good position to have dual Brez.
He wishes that he could actually pick up a gun.
I'm amazed he keeps going back to it. Like, why didn't he go across to the pillbox or something, you know? It's going to be very hard at that range to get the long guy, for example. You're never going to get that guy who's at the car.
Well, he needed to commit, but the problem is the M4 dropped close to the wall, so if he peeks for that M4, he gets caught by the guy out in CT.
Okay, so look, Nico buys an AWP now, and he's going to have absolutely no money, because he's got 1 assist, that's it, in the whole game, so they lose this round here, they're going to be in even more trouble.
Oh, yeah. Especially because Fnatic are going to be up at 8 rounds at this point. This is now a map that we expect to see more T rounds picked up on as well, so we expect to see more of a, like a 9-6, even 8-7 finish. So for them to be this far behind right now, it's looking very grim for Dignitas. MSL getting caught out by Flusha. Perfect timing there to watch Crims back, essentially.
Yep, that was an example there of how great they're sort of intuitive CT players, because there's no way they gave all the comms out. Like, I'm going to look here, you look right, and then they just knew how to play off each other.
That was really solid. And now Flusha, he is going to get picked off by Nico, though. Okay, so Nico's on the board. Nico's on the board, and this is looking better.
And now they've got mid.
JW was trying to go for some kind of flank into A main there. We'll see if he decides to press the issue.
He decides not to pull the trigger there. Nice trigger control. Right now, in theory, this is ideal if you're the terrorists. You want to do 1v1 trades like this, because now the defense has to completely spread out. They have to have one at least at the other site. So if you're going to go B like it looks like they're going to now, as long as you don't show and then go really slowly, you're going to get a guaranteed fight versus at max 2. And in fact, if they go now, it'll be versus 1 person, which is ideal.
Quick rotation from Crims as well. He could potentially make it up through vents fairly quickly, but it is going to come down to Olofmeister holding on this site. And they're already busting out the windows.
So now they have to go very fast.
Yeah, the Molotov isn't going to really worry too much for Olofmeister. He lines them up, does tremendous damage, but he doesn't get the second frag. Instead, it's going to come down to Crims with some spray through the smoke. The timing flawless. And that leaves it down to Kirby now with only 19 points of health. So there you go. Fnatic, once again, even with Dignitas getting an advantage in that round, they managed to stabilize.
What's funny is I actually think in that round there, even though that if the Molotov had landed and killed someone, we'd have been like, oh, what a great play. I actually think breaking the window was the mistake there. You saw the second the window broke, the guy who was towards mid rushed as fast as he could, and the guy was already coming over from A. So it actually meant that Crims was there just in time to get that crazy kill on the edge of the smoke. If you didn't break the glass, if you just ran in straight away, so you had like 1 second extra, you would have gotten into the site there.
Yeah.
And you would have overwhelmed him. You would at least get a plant, maybe.
Are they electing to go? Okay, so it's going to be the boost again here. They need to be very quiet about this, though, because there's 3 members lurking around A main. So any extra noise is going to be a huge risk, and MSL doesn't manage to spot through. Perfect smoke there to allow for that boost. Pimp, we'll see if he decides to actually make a play here. Or he's going to get dropped again by JW, because JW, last time this happened, he managed to just annihilate Pimp and Squeak really quickly. So Pronax just telling him, yeah, okay, we're on short somewhere. Don't worry about us. You know, this is a regular setup. Dignitas, there's not going to be anybody up high.
And yeah, Nico forced onto the Galil because he bought that off.
And there you go, JW making good use of that angle. MSL's there to shoot him in the back, however, but Pronax is there to lock down the site, and they have 2 guys still on this A site right now. So if Dignitas commit, it's going to get very difficult for them. Flusha holding very close, and he's still got eyes on Squeak as well. So there's no way for Dignitas to get onto this site right now for free. Oh, unless AC hits a great headshot onto Pronax. Pimp expecting the shots, but Flusha just controlling himself so well right there. Does not give away his position. Turns away from the flash. No other flash, and there you go. Free kill for Flusha. Picks up 2 and saves it for Fnatic again. It's just going to be Kirby now, and he's in a 1v2. 20 seconds left.
And Kirby was way too slow there. He should have been like 5 seconds ahead of that, and then he could have actually legitimately caught them where they'd have to choose who they're going to fire at. Instead, he let his teammates die in the A site, and then he comes up at the very end. It's too late at that point. There's no time left. Even if now he has to get a miracle 180 kill on a guy who doesn't actually have to peek, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, well, he has no way of knowing that Olafmeister's up there on upper right there, so...
No, that was just an example. Here's the thing. If you okay, like I was saying, if you go really slow, you give the terrorists, the CTs a lot of time to make these decisions. If they're good at making the correct decisions, they're going to beat you. If you go really slow as terrorist, you have to make all these decisions. He's not
actually in a position to be able to do anything. He actually kills the man off a connector from short, Kirby. So I don't think we can really fault him for that play right there, because he's actually holding off on short, and he comes up on short. It's not like he was in A main trailing behind the others. So actually, I'm going to go with Kirby on that one. This kind of just comes down to the 2 players on pushing out from A main and Squeak that need to get the job done versus Flusha there. And this is already flash through right now. Dignitas just completely spearheading this.
Pronax.
Yeah, Pronax. Oh, but that doesn't matter. Kirby up close with the Tech 9. JW and Cubby, though, and he even uses the own smoke, so he's going to be able to cover his way out of here. 3-on-3 now. There's an M4 picked up for Kirby, and AC and Nico going to work right now. There you go. Nico, double kill with the Tech 9, and Crims is now in a 1v3. This would be a fantastic round. If Crims can somehow pull this off.
Oh, they give him a chance.
He sees the boost coming.
I mean, that's actually crazy that you'd even spot there first. You normally spot to the left. No, that's nuts that you get the first kill.
That's some legit ridiculous play there from Crims. The fact that he actually pre-aims that angle.
And obviously those were 2 huge kills with the Tech 9 from Nico there. He hasn't put many on the board, but those 2 really counted.
That made the difference. Wow, Crims. And he covers himself so well as well. He's only exposed from the right side of quad boxes there.
That makes me wonder. Maybe someone with a def count saw someone doing the boost or something. I can't think what it would be, because it's unusual you'd instantly spot there, wouldn't you?
That's valid. No, that's a good point. Well, Crims actually with an AWP right now. He's holding it off. Fnatic have spent everything they have to go for a double AWP play. Olafmeister just with the CZ holding up in checkered. They've just got a series of flashes going out here trying to slow up Dignitas, but Dignitas seem to be aware. They seem to know that somebody's holding up close, and Olafmeister is going to have to be very careful now. Crims missing the shot that's going to allow MSL past. Olafmeister just dancing on the edge of the flames, basically, but is he going to find an entry, or are they just going to continue to press forward? Kirby is instead going to take that peek. Olafmeister with the running gun, and they both line up for him. That's just the worst possible timing for Dignitas.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And now AC, the bomb is dropped in the middle of Africa as far as he's concerned, and he's only got 4 HP now after that HE.
So he's going on safari?
Yeah, essentially, I mean, basically, man, he's got to go...
amongst these wild animals that could just tear him apart.
These beasts. And it's not even like, you know, an elephant, a giraffe, a rhinoceros.
No, I mean, that just shows you how powerful those pistols are, because in what universe, if you have all that money, do you go for a buy like that? Like, you don't just buy a Colt and then drop your teammate a FAMAS so we can all have guns and armor. You go for 2 AWPs, but it works.
It works because Olofmeister manages to control that just so damn
also,
well.
if that's one of the things that makes those pistols OP. We always think about them just in isolation, like this pistol versus an AK. But if you have half of them on a team, well, for a start, now you can control 2 ranges. You're up close with those pistols. You've got the AWP long range. You can actually make it work in that sense. And we're seeing Nico's going back to the AWP again.
And we're seeing that as well with the second round buys now, the SMG AK combination. I mean, you actually have teams now going for MP7s instead of the Tech 9s.
You just have to tap them down, and the SMG kills them. And if Nico loses this AWP without getting some decent amount of kills, just the economic damage he's done to his team alone from his buys will be huge.
Look at this aggressive push coming in from Pronax as well. He could actually walk up right beneath Nico. This is timing. Timing is everything, and he gets that free kill. And the AWP has done nothing for Dignitas. It's now the 3 remaining players here. Nice air control there. That's actually going to draw it out long enough for AC to get the kill onto Crims. But Olofmeister still holding on the site. Free kill for him. Second one should be easy as well. That's going to be Pimp, last man alive for Dignitas, just trying to battle his way onto this site. But
and there's no way to get back to that AWP either. So there's another expensive rifle taken without any impact, unfortunately.
11-2. I certainly wasn't expecting this kind of a one-sided match from Dignitas. And now, I mean, it's only going to get worse because they don't...
And like I was saying before about when I joked about Flasher, like a good in-game leader is supposed to be taking like limited information and making guesses off it. One of the key ways you can do that, quite famously, is you don't always have to get information on the site they're going to go to by peeking there and see like, oh, there's 3 set up outside here. That's the most obvious way, but you get killed that way. So you check the site you don't think they're going to. Then when you notice there's no one there, like Pronax did there, you can give the comms that it's going to be A, definitely.
Holy hell. If Olofmeister lives... Wow. Okay, 3 kills for Olof, 2 for Pronax. A perfect, flawless B defense right there. I know that's redundant, but Fnatic are on point. They've got everything under control, and Olofmeister, that puts himself ahead of Flusha in a single round there. Flusha was actually top fragging before that. They nearly lined up for Olofmeister too. He would have had a field day there. But perfect play here by Olofmeister. The control that he needed. He didn't face too many pistols at once. He really did play the angles well. And we go into the 15th round now. Dignitas, only AKs, a handful of nades. Fnatic fully equipped, everything they need.
This has been a very underwhelming T-half at the moment from Dignitas. Not even that many legit plants or chances to win rounds. They almost never have the numbers advantage.
This is the issue now. That Molotov is really going to slow things up for MSL. He's going to manage to dart into the vents, but his teammate has to wait behind. So he's solo, and Olofmeister with a great flick from on high manages to catch out Kirby.
And we know Crims will just watch that spot below him there. So that's the great teamwork and comms they have.
Yeah, a bit of the pop flash there, just slowing things up. These anti-flashes right now looking so good for Fnatic. Crims with the control finds the headshot on AC.
But now this guy actually, they could have actually killed Olofmeister on the side of the head there if they come out of the main, but they didn't know. They both went checkered.
And now, I mean, look, it's Olofmeister. He just has no fear. He knows this is an impossible position for his team to lose from. So
and this is almost like the old cash, where you could get the 12th to 13th round. You're not supposed to do that anymore. The top teams on cash right now, a good half's a 9 CT round half. You're expecting the other team, if they're willing to play cash, that's the thing, teams usually don't play it if they're not very good at it. So that you're expecting they're going to get around 5 to 6 rounds, you know.
Yeah, that's become the standard now. The shift in meta is just more T rounds. But, I mean, there we have it. Flusha calling the shots, and so far he's been on point. He's just been spectacular with that job. Not a wrong call there.
One of the
Fnatic.
concerns that you would have as well for Fnatic is, first of all, one of the strengths of Pronax was these mid-round calls he would make. So I wonder, is he still, like, because they did have quite a lot of autonomy in the team, so maybe he still contributes those, so he has like a value to the team. Because if you're going to make him just a pure fragger, okay, Pronax will have like a couple of weeks span where he's good at fragging, but compared to the others in the team, he's not on their level in terms of like overall skill. He's not a star player. So if he's not going to be the in-game leader at all, that's where I'd kind of wonder, like, well, what's the point in having him at that point in time, you know? Unless he's just going to be a pure support player.
And now they also have 3 mines, essentially, because Devil Walk is there with the calls as well. Whatever, regardless, this is now going to be the pistol round here for the second half. And AC's already started off strong, taking out Pronax. AC on high, continues to put pressure. Kirby out back of the site, going to get completely overwhelmed. And Olofmeister now with the Tech 9, full raid boss as well from him. He's got the Kevlar there as well. So he's just this monster who's going to be able to walk through your entire team. Pimp looking for the headshots, but unlike on Mirage, he wasn't able to pick up any this round.
This is looking like it's going to be a short map right now.
Yeah, this is looking like it's just going to be a complete and utter train wreck.
Like Dignitas really needs to do some sort of crazy pistol buy now. So Pimp's going for the dual Berettas. Again, with the dual Berettas, that's another one where, is that really worth the investment?
Well, especially because for the same price you can get a 5.7. So it's
I don't really know why you'd do it myself, but okay.
I mean, why would you invest in it? But, you know, it's Pimp. He's got a thing. He's just trying to become... He's trying to make it his thing, essentially, I think.
You're not get right, and it's not mid-2013, mate.
Right. Well, whatever makes you feel good, I suppose. I mean, if it can work, it can work. We'll see if they actually manage something here. Nico trying to sneak up close. He's going to get caught, taking some nade damage there as well, down to 33 HP. And so far, Fnatic are just systematically taking control of this map. They've got control of the B hulls now.
You notice they're sending the guy with the Tech 9 first to scout all that out. So if he dies, who cares? You go to Tech 9.
Exactly. Low risk. And now they can actually start to take control of mid here if they like. JW not willing to push out quite yet, but he is checking those angles. He's got support from his mate as well. Flashes through, and now they decide to start pushing forward. 3 players in.
That is a good crossfire.
This is a very solid position here by Flusha. He actually pre-fires that angle, and that's going to be AC down. 2 kills for Fnatic, and they're going to be able to walk out pretty much wherever they like at this point. Olofmeister spots the last man on this site. That's Kjerby, who's trying to hold NBK. He could potentially take this fight with Olof, and he's going to get it. Pimp as well with the dualies, and there's Kjerby. 2 kills from the site, and now he's got a Galil to work with as well. Wow. Gets the final kill, and Kjerby with the sick performance holds down that site for Dignitas.
Great timing to get the 2 kills. Good technique. Yeah, it was very well done.
And that's the thing that's interesting when it comes to Kjerby, because perhaps you're right as far as the timings are concerned, but he really does seem to want to be one of the biggest up-and-coming talents right now in the scene, because you get these flashes of greatness from him. So it's just, and he's only 17. He literally just had his birthday.
But that's also a problem. Sometimes when players have played in lower-level teams, if they're the good player in the team, they get a bit selfish like that. They just get a bit paranoid, like, I can't trust my team. I have to always be alive, because if I die, we're going to lose the round, you know? So maybe it's just adapting to the top level of the pro scene.
I'm really looking
and you need
a
strong leader to kind of discipline you in that. Like, you don't do that. You always help your teammate here. It's kind of like a cultural thing as well, I think. But looking like pretty easy round 1 here.
Now Pimp is starting to find himself a little bit. AC with
Because
the
if
double
you remember,
kill as well.
Fnatic had actually bought 2 AKs on that second round there. So a reasonably expensive buy. And I'm assuming the Tech 9 guy probably had an armor as well.
No, they've...
So yeah, now they have to do the 2 saves.
Exactly. Well, yeah, it's a double save unless they can get a bomb plant here for Fnatic. They've got what, the Glock, a single P250 to work with, so not too much firepower. So we'll see what they decide to do with it. If they're going to take their time trying to find a pick here on Dignitas, or if they're just going to rush forward. And right now it looks like they're kind of spreading out across the map. So kind of standard stuff here coming in from Fnatic. Don't seem like they want to get caught off guard by anything. So
Nico's just going to play with the Gallo because he wants to get an ult next round, presumably.
Isn't going to be too shabby for Nico as well if this continues. Pimp holding up in vents. Lets Nico get that extra $300 actually, so that's going to make a difference.
It's also worth not popping the Bennett if you can.
It does seem like Fnatic want to end up on this A site though, so we got the bomb waiting in Squeak, ready to go. And there we go. AC
you have to go
spotted.
now. You just showed yourself there. I'm not really sure what the point in staying is, since that guy can't get out, basically.
It's a question, basically. I mean, they're going to wrap back around. They're going to go just for the full bum rush, basically. 4 pistols at the same time, just try and roll onto the site, but AC, perfect positioning.
Oh, there we go.
Picks up 2, and now Kjerby from MBK, he's going to walk onto the site, goes for a bit of the run and gun. He's got that Tech 9. Just relentless right now in the hunt. Olofmeister not able to get anything done. He's only got the Glock, but now all 3 members holding on this site, and they've even got a man, MSL, pushed up into mid now to make sure that Olofmeister isn't going to be able to rotate.
I would call vote a kick on Olofmeister right now. Like, you're wasting the time, mate. You've got a Glock. The round's over.
Yeah.
Kick this guy.
Keep him sweating, man. Don't let him get comfortable. There we go. Kjerby keeps his focus and picks up another kill for himself, so he'll be climbing a little bit. And Dignitas have now got 5 rounds on the board. Now we get to see exactly what's in store for us here. Nico going for that AWP. He's only got 6 frags right now, though, so he's got some catching up to do. And no AWP picked up for Fnatic, so no glass cannon from Olofmeister or JW. They didn't quite have the money. It doesn't look like... It looked like literally Pronex was the only one who could go for a glass cannon AWP on Fnatic, so money explains it, basically. And so what do you think, at this point, man, what do you think Fnatic could do to just, like, lock this down? Is there a preferred play that you'd want to see them go for? I mean, it looks like the A site's going to be the hardest to hit. That's where the guy who's playing the best Kjerby at the moment's holding, and he's been doing a pretty good job around that door. You haven't been able to entry through there, so I'd imagine you'd want to be heading towards B and at least trying to see what happens if you get an entry there. The fact that Flusha dies to MSL, that was through smoke right there. Olofmeister brings it back, though. He takes out Nico and Connector, and he could get the double kill. JW, in fact, is going to be there. Pimp peeks out from the vents after getting boosted up and returns it. Brings it back to a 3-on-3. So they're going to go A now, it looks so, but they're going to wait for this guy to come to the mid. So I think that's Olofmeister who's flanking behind me. He's actually going to go right through the other mid, so he's going to try and get behind the players. Yeah, that's a confidence in your players pushing. And he's waited long enough, so this should be like at least 1 flank killer, 1 onto the Opera as well. Yeah, free kill onto MSL there. Perfect play. And then Pimp, last man alive. First one, doesn't realize the second man is behind him. He goes for the pre-fire, going for the spray, gets it as well. Pimp, this is his day. He is playing on a completely unparalleled level. Now he's going to get the defuse because he just holds down on it at the last possible second. Pimp with the 1v3 clutch on the A site.
Oh, that was nuts. Especially because you could see from the way he was spraying there, he was completely blind for the majority of the time. Then at the end of the clip, he managed to drag it onto the guy. And then obviously, I mean, he had no choice that he had to pretty much go for the brawler diffuse. And somehow he got it at the split second. You know?
Are we going to say, you know, like the adage, pros don't fake? Is that it? I mean, you still have to admire the play from Fnatic, though. That's Olafmeister just saying, you know, I trust you guys to actually get up onto that site and kill whoever's there. I'm going to go for the rotators. I'm going to go wait and see and just weaken the defense further. I mean, with the lurk.
His timing was on point. He could have potentially gotten 2 even. And JW's having no problem at the moment going at this mid area.
Yeah, that's actually the second round now in a row where he's able to clean it up.
They're holding this mid quite passively, actually. Like, look at this. In a second, he could get a free kill on the back of someone here. And that's a rule. You should never be able to die if you're on the A site there without a call from your mid guy like this. Like, that shouldn't be possible.
Now that he gets the info as well, now they know that the man's behind quad boxes, so Kjerby, not long for this world, Crims is going to be there. Smoke is still down blocking off CT as well, so the impact that Nico has right now with this AWP is practically nil. In fact, he can lose it right now. Pronak's already pre-firing this angle, looking for that headshot, so Nico under some tremendous pressure right now. And MSL gets spotted moving up short, so Olafmeister once again with an effective lurk. They know where the last player is.
And they've got Nico there.
So this is just MSL now walking into a triangle of doom, essentially. No way for him to get onto that site.
But if you saw, that all came from the fact that the guy who was holding the mid was holding super passively, waiting for someone to push him. So as a result, JW was able to get behind and would have, even if he hadn't got a guy running literally past him, a free kill like that, he could have already maybe had a shot onto the side of someone's head in A. And if you're playing A, you never want to worry that there's someone right behind me at mid and no one's called it. That looked just like bad communication, or the guy at mid, they didn't know he was playing passively, something like that, because it's weird that normally if you let him through, they're going to look to the right, you know, and cover that as well from behind the quad box.
It's just aggressive peaks, essentially aggressive peaks, lacking. And at least a trade kill going through here for Dignitas, so they're not able to, they don't just straight up give the entry over to Fnatic. Nice flashes leading onto this site, however, nobody pushing out behind them. And Pronak's actually hightailing out of there. Free kill. Yeah, free kill for Kjerby there, so that's really nice actually for Dignitas at this point. If they find the time, they could even rotate in there and try and pick up that gun. Kjerby has the M4 already, though. It's AC on the CZ, but they aren't wasting the time. They're already rotating Pimp over here to support MSL. This is going to be the B-side push coming in here from Fnatic. Bomb is already passed. Now they know where MSL is, and they know where there's a man on upper as well, so this is going to get kind of brutal here. MSL still alive, taking this fight, but Crims, Flusha bringing it back, and MSL still here, 40
there's
HP.
Someone coming out of the vent, though. There you go. They managed to get a little crossfire at the end.
And that's a good rotation, timely rotation by Kjerby.
The Fnatic guys actually did the same thing that Dignitas did before, where they were going to go 3 and they were going to just rush the site, but then they slowed down right at the last second and slowly went in because they wanted to check every angle. Like, that's an interesting point to make, okay. If you're watching the game and you see a pro doesn't check a corner and he gets killed from there, I've heard like bad commentators be like, oh, even in Silver 3 I do that. It's like some rushes you can't check every corner and it won't be fast enough. You have to just trust that this time there's not one there, gamble on the odds, because you get a faster push into the site and you take the site over before the rotators come. So it's not necessarily wrong in every case, but that's why you don't just try and play it super safe every time. It eliminates certain fast play.
No, it's very true. It's very true. It's just in the slow type play where you start, you know, slapping wrists a little bit if you don't check those angles. They do manage to recover the AWP that was dropped by Olafmeister earlier, so that investment is, there's still a shot that they can get something out of it. 4 players alive, however, for Fnatic, Dignitas with the advantage.
And so far, the Flusher experiment on T-side hasn't looked very good at the moment. I mean, they won pistol, they won 1 other round, but otherwise they've lost a full buy round, or a half buy round, I guess, on the second. Well, and in general, they're going very, very slowly on T-side. They don't really have any set direction to where they're going. It looks almost like they just try to get a pick and then go from that.
No, it certainly is a bit touchy-feely, but they are playing versus Danes. Dignitas do tend to be very solid on the CT side. So you're right. I mean, if you don't have that very top level, I don't think that Fnatic are playing with any worry that they're going to lose.
They're almost certain that this is that thing where you get in that mindset of like, well, eventually we'll get the 1 and the 2 rounds, so it's going to happen anyway.
And this can happen to anybody.
But as a result, you give up some free rounds in the meantime. Whereas the difference is if you literally had to get every single round from now, you'd have made a decisive call. Like, right, we're going to do exactly this, and it has to work, and we have to hit the timings.
Let's leave JW in a bit of an awkward spot, but with 5 seconds left, he's going to be able to save and hold on to this AWP, so you can be perfectly fine with that happening for JW at least. And this is definitely going to be another round of eco from Fnatic. If they elect to go for some kind of Tech 9 buy behind this AWP, I mean, the option is there, but this is definitely a double eco scenario for them.
The thing is, on a map like this, it's perfectly fine to just do a full eco and just all sit around and let JW or whoever, if Olofmeister gets it back, just take long-range peeks where it's unlikely you're going to get tapped by a Colt, and just see if you can get 1 or 2. And if you can, then maybe we can attack. Otherwise, there's not really any point doing a force buy, I don't think.
Good. I like the fact that JW actually holds up rather than going for the straight boost. They predict the Molotov and the HEs. A second Molotov, in fact, so really trying to buy a lot of time here, Dignitas. If they want to commit to this, Fnatic have to make
remember,
an
they
investment.
do know that JW has that up. So they're assuming he's going to try and take an aggressive peek on us somewhere. And mid's the most obvious spot to do that from. Let's see if he can insta-scope this guy.
This is a bit of a cheeky spot that we've been seeing. It's been used more and more often. And you're safe from below as well, so it's a really solid little position to be holding. And this is also going off of the fact that Olofmeister, I mean, JW has spotted Nico, Olofmeister spotted Nico. They know that Nico's been heavily favoring Connector.
Oh, look at this. They're going to peek out. If they do it properly, hopefully you'd think that the Fnatic guys here would just die here, and then JW or someone could get the kill from above. But if JW dies, this is a massive blow.
And Nico's right below them as well.
And
This isn't a position he's used. This is not a position he's used before.
The free kill onto the guy with the AK.
Yeah, this is going to be very brutal here now. They have to try and get back that gun if they want to.
You may as well literally just suicide towards the gun. If one of you can get it, it's worth. But instead, for some weird reason, they're going to go to the other side. With clocks.
Nico around situation. Actually, double boost up, and this could actually work here. Nico could get overwhelmed, and he will do that. Flusha is going to be able to pick up that kill. He's got an AK to work with now. Flusha trying to spray down AC, who's stuck behind the sandbags now. AC so low on HP, he's not going to be around long. 9 seconds left, but this is now getting into a position where Fnatic either win or have to just all die. I mean, they're not going to be able to get the bomb plant. They're going to lose this round with 3 players surviving, so at least they can save the guns.
No, it's true, and they did a lot of damage to the Dignitas guys, obviously.
Wow, that actually turned out pretty decent there for Fnatic, because they still saved 3 guns. If they hadn't picked up those guns, they would have been screwed in that position.
And Nico, every time he has the money, he's going to buy that up, even though he's only on 8 kills at the moment.
The rest of his team, I mean, AC, Kyoto, Pimp.
I mean, the thing is, that's what he's there for. He's supposed to be a dedicated op, so you have to do that. I actually respect that you at least keep doing that. You don't just kind of say, I'm not having a good day, I'll go to the cult instead. And your whole job is to be the op. Do you see that guy just get dinked to 51 health there, JW, through the wall?
I like that. I mean, it goes both ways, essentially. That spot has now become a very common wallbang spot. That's going to be unfortunate for JW. Might, well, then again, I'm not going to say this is going to make him peek a little bit more carefully because it's JW. He'll peek regardless, even if he has 1 HP. Timing with that Molotov, not going to work out quite yet. JW double scopes onto Connector, doesn't spot the man holding close. Now his teammates, I think, just spotted out the fact that maybe somebody's there.
Oh, but Kiebi, in theory, if they communicate properly, can peek out and kill him.
That's what we're waiting on right now to see that vent timing. Flash there for Kyoto to take that peek, but JW no longer holding aggressive. Instead, he's chosen the passive method here. And 45 seconds left. I mean, Fnatic are very slow-paced right now on their T side. They really are taking their time to set things up. Nico will find the kill on a Pronax. That was an A main, and he's holding solo on this site right now. AC's only just now rotating up short. They still don't want to fully give control of mid up because they still have Pimp kind of stuck behind the sandbags over here in mid, so they need to offer him some kind of support.
In a second.
And there we go. Both kills coming through, and that's the whole point of AC staying on short at that point, is he's watching Pimp's back, making sure that nobody can come up from above and just shoot him in the top of the head.
That would have been the guy that would have gotten him if they'd have held back a little bit too much.
So far, Dignitas are looking very good on this CT side. They're slowly but surely bringing it back.
Well, especially when you consider they only got 2 rounds. So they shouldn't even have been in this game at all. And Fnatic at the moment, if you look at the game so far, Fnatic don't have one strat that they can go to. They don't have one thing that, oh, well, that worked, go back to that.
Yep.
They have nothing.
It's been very touch and go. Now, actually, they are going to try and start going for those kinds of plays where they can reproduce them consistently. Smoke round onto A site. So that sets it up now. 4 players forward. Flusha only just now bringing up the rear. He's going to set up the flashes and try and get a little bit of mid-control going here. Incendiary going down onto that site, though. That might buy a little bit of time. At least it will delay the plant. And JW just pre-firing, trying to clear out quad. But this is definitely set up now for Dignitas to go for the retake. Krim's taking some damage as he gets to the bomb plant. But 5 members survive here for Dignitas. This is definitely a situation they should be able to come out on top of. With Kierby taking out Pronax, who's holding on forklift as well. This isn't going to get any easier.
And the others are all, look where JW is. He's got all the way behind, and he's managed to get right there as well. So if he goes quick, the problem is that guy he couldn't hold long enough.
They needed Olofmeister to live.
See, he's had to... This is very smart, though.
What is this?
The way he let them...
He stays alive! If he gets this kill, oh, if he had got that kill, that was it.
They would have had it.
The thing is, because that other guy died and so he knew, well, I'm not just going to insta-kill them all, he purposely tried to wait and just kill the guy. And he actually killed the diffuser as well. That was classic JW.
This is unheard of. And the guy's body blocking as well, but he's like, I'll go through both of you, no problem. And it's the fact that he stays alive here. If he had won this battle, one more bullet would have done the trick. He would have. That was in a position where he could have just won the round single-handedly for his team.
Just JW things.
Right? Hashtag. And now 4 rounds remain in this first map, or rather in this map, the final map. This is best of 1 format, and Nico once again opens up, takes out Pronax. So man advantage now. But Fnatic this time around, they are not backing off.
The A guys have to hurry up and get out while he's helping them here.
They're going very fast, and they catch one out open. JW, however, going to get shot in the flank there. No smoke down to block CT, so he gets caught. And Nico is just managing to pick up kills from CT. That's Pimp peeking forward from Connector. He's going to be able to pick one up. And now they're trying to change things up, Fnatic. Go B site, but there's 2 guys who are going to be holding solid here now. Pimp has had time to rotate back, and MSL still holding on the site itself. So Fnatic, they decide this time around to just try and run and gun, go straight in, but 1 kill for each of those defenders, and Dignitas just completely shut down that buy. Fnatic, no bomb plant either, so a buy here actually is going to be fairly reasonable. They have 3 guys with decent money, a 4th one who's going to be able to afford a couple of nades, so not the end of the world here for Fnatic. They're going to be able to keep up the pressure. But do you believe in the comeback at this point, Thorin? I mean, do you think it is possible?
Well, I mean, the thing is, if Fnatic lose this round, you'd be in a position where overtime's looking quite realistic, actually.
I guess you have to add just the asterisk there, because now they're starting to train some rounds together. You know, it's like if they lose a round without a bomb plant. So that bonus $800 at this point is going to mean a huge difference.
A blind
for
kill through
Olofmeister.
smoke certainly helps.
That goes a long way. Kjærby caught out in the open, tagged up. AC, he's been spotted going up as well, so Crims might have that info. And Fnatic still kind of gathered around mid right now. They're going for the double boost up. Whereas JW still kind of waiting, watching vents, so that now it's going to be Fnatic getting control of mid, rather. We'll see if Nico can actually pick up the frag, because last round he picked off Pronax from this position, so you have to wait and see. Misses the shot, and that could... misses the HE as well, so he fully has to back off. He wanted to go for the re-peek there, but it's going to be too late. Now they're in position to shut him down. They even get the wallbang onto him.
Yeah, that's a nightmare round. Almost everything went wrong for him there.
Yeah, that's a catastrophe.
And now he's let someone through the vent as well, so it's almost certain the MSL will be overrun at this point.
They go up on short as well, so they pick up a kill over on the A site. MSL is gone. Olofmeister picks up Nico as well, so it's down to AC rotating over.